Okay, I'm trying my best to get this in the right frame here. I guess this is what happens when you accidentally bump your camera. Okay. I don't know what happened yesterday, but during recording, something caused my camera, or well, it wasn't actually my camera because my camera was still recording, but something caused my live feed to just drop off. And I don't know what it was, but my entire screen went blank. And I came back and I had a couple viewers left. And I told those guys that the best thing to do would probably be just come back today and finish this painting up. And they all agreed. So that's basically what I'm doing today is coming up to finish this painting that I started last night. And to catch everybody up, it's a 16 by 20 inch canvas that I was just going to do a little barn and metal scene, something different for me. And like I said, it cut out and I lost video. So maybe today, let me see, if I can get this camera to sit right, I would like to. I'd like to finish this video for you guys. Okay. All right, where I got cut off at, I had made another barn before this one and just was not happy with it at all. So I scraped it all off, started over. This is the one we ended up with. This is where we were when the camera shut off. So what I was going to do next was I was going to come up here and go ahead and add a door in this barn to just give us a way in and out, basically, because that's something you got to have in a barn. You got to be able to get in and out of it. I was doing a little talking last night about, well, I mean, if you've seen that other video, you probably seen where I said, if you wasn't already subscribed to the channel, to go ahead and subscribe. I'm coming up close to my 1 year mark. And they tell me that after that 1 year, your time starts dropping off day by day. Hey, Paul. Yeah, you found me. I'm trying to finish that barn up we was doing last night. And hopefully not get cut off again. That would be ideal. I think you had already left. Well, you didn't leave. The stream kind of kicked everybody out. But I came back on right quick to apologize to everybody. And the few people that were left, we all agreed that it'd just be best if we waited till the day to finish it up. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and try to finish it today. Because I cannot tell you what happened last night. When I got up and checked the camera, it was still going. It was still recording. But there was no picture on my computer screen. I checked my cable connection. It was good. I checked the upload speed on the internet. It was good. So for the life of me, I cannot tell you what happened. I do not know. It was crazy. One minute I was painting, the next minute I was gone. So I don't know. But anyway, I'm back right now. So hopefully we get to see it done today. I'm gonna grab a filbert brush right quick. And I'm gonna come out up here. Grab a little bit of my. Well, the weather was good here. I mean, I don't know what it. Like I said, I don't know what it was, Paul. I really don't. I mean, it was crazy. It just disappeared on me. All right, I'm gonna start right about here. And I'm gonna come up. I'm gonna give myself the all the way off the screen. And put us in a little tree over here. Well, I say little tree. It ended up being a big tree. Bob would be proud of that, wouldn't he? Well, since I don't know what happened last night, I did go ahead and reset the router just in case it was the modem, just in case, or whatever you call the thing that where the internet comes in. I did reset it just in case that's what was going on. And hopefully, if that's what it was, we won't have that issue today. Right now, I'm having an issue with my camera's not wanting to set straight, and it's wobbling. I don't know. I'm having all kind of problems with YouTube here lately. It seems like something just don't want me to succeed on this YouTube channel. I'm up to 874 subscribers, and I've got like 40 days to get to my 1,000. It's like some kind of ghost or something is just trying to prevent that from happening. All right, I'm just using my script liner now to add a few tree limbs. Because this actual tree here is going to be, it's not going to have any limbs on it. I mean, any leaves. So, Paul, I think this building looks a little better than where we left off last night, don't it? Than that first one yesterday. Man, that thing was, whew, I don't know what happened to me on that thing. That was about a janky looking little building I built. It was all kind of messed up. All right, we got the start of a tree there. I'll come up here now, grab me a little of this here dark sienna. And a little white. Not much of either color. Probably more dark sienna really than white, if you don't know the truth of it. I just want it to be light enough that we can see it pretty good. We're going to put a little bit of highlight on this tree up here. I just want to highlight the edge just a little bit. Just tapping, that's all. Just tapping the color on. And since it's over behind this barn, it's probably not going to be too bright. But we'll tap on a little. And this will give us a little texture on it too. So when it dries, you'll actually be able to touch this and feel it. And then a couple places up through here, if you want to make it a little brighter, just get you a little of the white and just come up and touch it in a couple places, and then just tap that white, and it'll work right down into that color. Like if you want it to look like the sun's hitting it in a couple places. But the more you tap, the more it'll go down into that Van Dyke brown that we put on as the base color. But just a few places through here, just kind of tap you on a little bit of the highlight color. And like I said, it won't take a lot to do what you're trying to do right here. It won't take a lot at all. That's probably plenty right there, in fact. All right. Then I'm grabbing one of my 2-inch brushes. I'm going to go back to work on some of this foreground color now. Just come in here and just fill all this in with a dark color. Just using brown, just to fill it in. That's all I'm doing. And the reason I'm tapping it is because I want to maintain this texture. I don't want to come up here and just brush the color on. But you gotta have dark in order to show light. Just starting to mix with that liquid white. And that's the same liquid white that was there from last night. So if you're watching this video right now and you've ever wondered if liquid white will be dry the next day, there's your answer. It's not only dry, it's very dry. I mean wet. It's just like it was last night when I painted on it. So if you want to paint a painting and you apply liquid white and you leave, don't worry about coming back the next day and it being wet. It'll be wet. Now, I don't know about 2 or 3 days, but you know you can get overnight out of it for sure. And like I said, all I'm doing is just putting this here for the dark. Yours stayed for 3 days? Cool. The longest I've ever stretched it out was 2 days, and that was because I applied it to a canvas, and then I started on a painting, and I had a lady wanted me to paint her something right quick, so I had to take that one off the easel and paint her a painting. And it stayed wet for 2 days before I got back on it. So that was about the longest I've ever kept it on a canvas. Yeah, 2 days. That's about the longest that I can remember, anyway. All right, I'll go ahead and wash that brush real quick. All right, I'm fixing to get me a drop of thinner here. Not much at all. I'm gonna come up here in my yellow. Grab a little bit of my sap green. And it's not gonna take much sap green at all. Just enough to tint it green. I'm gonna tap this color right on the brush. Come back up here now and start tapping on my grass. I better grab me a 1-inch brush real quick too. That way I can get in behind these trees here. That color needs to be a little bit darker in here. Over around the barn. Maybe catch a little bit of sun as it moves out back here. All right, and I want this to just look like little tall grass back here, just like so. And we'll put a little grass around this little tree's foot there. And we'll leave all this dark back in here. So never mind, huh? Have it growing up inside the barn a little bit through here. All right. Now we can come back with that 2-inch brush. I feel like we'll have a little bit of sunlight out here, so I don't think it'll be as dark. Where this little heel comes off and gets back to the flatland again. Just through here like that. Come up here. Get this color mixed back in. Want the little barn to look like it's sitting kind of up on a hill, just a little bit.
You put a little bit of white around the barn door.
Yeah, you can. Normally, you can come around it with a knife and just kind of outline it. I'll show you right quick how you can do it. You can do it with the big knife or the little knife, but I normally, if I'm gonna do it, I just put a little bit of paint kind of on the bottom of the knife and just use the heel and just come back up, and I try not to go all the way around the door. I just want to hit a couple spots, just kind of outline it a little bit. That way you can tell it's outlined, but it's not all the way around it. That way it don't look like light's hitting it everywhere. So yeah, you can do that too, Paul. And if you don't want to use white, you can use a little bit lighter color than what you got up here. Like this is that tan color. You can add a little white into that same tan color and use it. You don't have to use just straight up white if you don't want to. All right, now I want our grass to start laying flat again through here. I think this should be enough heel. Well, thank you, sir. There's all kinds of little secrets you can do that, well, I wouldn't say secrets, but just little tips that you pick up along the way that you basically learn it from experience or from painting different pictures and doing different things. Uh, and believe it or not, you can learn a lot from accidents. Like you can accidentally do something one day, and if it works out for you, you can say, "Well, wow, I need to remember how to do that." And and sometimes it works out for you. All right, now I want a light spot in here. So let's say the light's coming from this side. I want that. I want it to look like the sun's kind of hitting it a little better back in here, and kind of get this lit up a little more, just a little. Because somewhere in here, I want it to lose some of this heel shape in here. And see, that's another thing. Anytime you want to change directions, like on your lay of the land or anything like that, you can do it with the direction that you tapping the brush on, but you can also do it with your color choice. Like you can, if you come in here with a real bright spot, like right in here anywhere, it can appear like it's higher than back here, if that even makes sense. But then you can go back up and just start tapping those same colors and just kind of blend it all together and make it kind of look the same. And then, how to say this? Well, let me just show you real quick. You can take a little white and come here in this same color that we're using for this grass. And say, for instance, you want to make it look like you got a hot spot in here. You come right here with this white, just like that. And that white will separate the dark behind it, and it'll make it look like you got just a little ridge right here now. Because all you got to do is come in here and just keep tapping that same color. I didn't really need a ridge right here, but it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Won't hurt a thing. We'll just make it look like a little rise in here. But just by using that lighter color as a color change right there, it just looked like it raised up. And all I did was tap the same direction, just used a little bit different color. Color change is real important in a painting because that's all you're using. You're using colors to sell an illusion. That's all you're doing. Like out here, everything's real smooth, just like it's mowed grass, just real smooth. But if you come in here and just tap it all out and get it, leave that little bit of highlight right there and just work right up to it. It just looks like a little divot back here in the grass line. And if you don't want it right there, you can come up here and take it out just by coming across the bottom end of it like that. And you can put the little divot right on the other side. See how I thinned it out? Then you can come back in here and just take it completely back out. So you don't. People have a tendency to worry too much about when they do something. They say, well, oh man, I'd have messed that up. Well, oil paint is so forgiving that, you just come up here just like we just did and just a couple taps and you've changed it all right back to where you was. Hadn't lost a thing in the world by doing it. And then over here, we'll add a little more green That way it's looks like it's darker to us back here. Because you can come down here and get just a little bit of straight bright red. And you can add just a bright red color in here, and it'll just change the look of the grass. Like now there's a little patch of clover in there or something, or a different type of grass it's got kind of a reddish tint to it. But by adding dark and light color together, you start getting those little contours. It makes it look like the land's actually got movement in it. It's just not one solid curtain of color. It looks like it's actually doing stuff now. Like it's moving this way and that way. But now see having all those straight lines up there around the bushes it kind of gives them a different look now. And you may or may not like that. I don't know. I'm not crazy about it, but it's easy fix. And we'll fix that in just a second. But that's the thing. If you see something you don't like, it's an easy fix in this style of painting. All right. Now, if you like that real fluffy looking grass that Bob used to do a lot, let me get a little more yellow, and I'll show you how to do it right quick. It's I know you've seen him make it. He loved making that grass. I call it tappy grass. But what it is that real real soft looking grass he does in some of his paintings sometimes. That just makes it look like you want to kick your shoes off and run through it barefoot. But to do that, all you do is load your brush up, tap some right on the edge of it. Just load the brush up like you always do. And you just change your amount of pressure that you're using. From tapping the way I was tapping up here. Let's say you come up here now and you wanted to do little light taps like this. And this just changes the whole look of the grass now. It changes it to that real soft looking grass that Bob done this in no telling how many. Right. See, when you come up here and load the brush, well, you can't see it. Let me get it up here and show it to you. All right. Right here on the palette. In the yellow right here. My yellow's kind of contaminated, but when you come up here and pull your color out and tap it, see, I got my brush laying more of an angle now. Where a while ago I was up like this, tapping color in it. Now I'm down at an angle, tapping it right on the side, and then you take it and push it back up if you want to, and that'll give you a little bit more paint. But what you're trying to do is right now is get that paint right here. That's the paint you're working with. right along that edge. You're not working with this paint that was up here earlier. See all of that? You're working with this little bit, that little ridge right there. And you load that brush. I think it was you I was telling last night. It's all about how you learn how to load the brush, and you learn how the paint reacts to it. Because you see how all of this, we turned it out smooth. You can use that same tapping technique, but since the brush is loaded different, you come up here now and tap, and I've changed my pressure that I'm tapping. And see, it gives you that little, just that little soft, fluffy grass look. And you just keep, when you see it not working on your brush, you come back down, get you a little more paint. Because once you get that corner loaded up, all you gotta do then is come back down and touch it right into the paint. And it'll stay loaded. But we don't want to go all the way over with it. We want some shadow back here because of our barn. Because right now, if I took that brush and I stood it straight back up again like that and went to tap it back down into the paint, it wouldn't do this. It would not make this same effect right here. I don't care how light you tap or how you try to make it. All it's going to do is put a thin, even coat of paint or a thin distribution of paint through the bristles. And it'll let you do some certain things like bushes and stuff, but it's not going to let you do this tappy grass. And see, you can come right back up here now where I said the little bushes and stuff we made up here had too straight of a line. You can come back up here now and just kind of tap into them a little bit and just kind of break that line up and make that grass look like it's kind of growing up on the side of them now. Make the bushes a little straighter in line. You can change the whole look of them just by tapping that little difference of color on, just like so. And you can make that bank look like it just fits right in that part of the picture, just perfect. Just by using different colors and tapping them up. That's all I'm doing is just tapping them a little higher up on the bushes right there. If you get one up here you don't like I'm not crazy about that one right there, I'll just take it completely out of the picture just by turning all of this into grass over here. Just like this. And I'll leave just that red one there. See? And now it just looks like the sun's coming through. Just lighten this little spot up a little. And just like that, we turned it all right into grass right through there. If you got another spot up here, you're like, well, I ain't crazy about that. Turn that into grass too. And believe it or not, if you really just wanted to, before you can say, well, I don't know what else to do, you could come all the way up here if you wanted to and just do you a gradually incline, or you can come in here and make it deep. You come in here and put a pond. I mean, it's manipulating the paint. That's all it is. It's just getting the paint to, if you see something in your head, you gotta make the paint make it look like that. like right in here, we can come off this point. Just come right in here, just off this point, and come right under this grass now. And if you bring this all the way over, like that, we just set that barn back there on its own little hill. That's this part of it's going in behind there, and this part of it's staying in front. And did that just with changing color. That's all we did. In fact, I kind of like that. I may leave that. I was actually just trying to show you how you could do it, and that ended up looking. Yeah, I think we're gonna keep that. Yeah, I think we're gonna hang on to that ridge there, Paul. I ain't gonna let that one go. I'm not gonna smooth it back in. You getting your own private lesson? How about that? Because you're the only one in here. All right, we'll just bring that little ridge right on out here. And we'll keep that ridge. Then we'll work everything else down off of that ridge. Like that. Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I can't tell you at the times before I sit down to paint something, I sit there and stare at a canvas and would just be scared to death to put color up there because I didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do or how I wanted it to look. Then I'd be scared. Well, what if I mess this up and it don't look right? And it takes getting over that fear of putting color on the canvas because you're scared you're gonna mess something up. And then one day, I don't remember who told me or who I heard it from, but they said, "Don't worry about it. I mean, if you mess it up, just scratch it off." And then I got to thinking about it, I guess, in a little different way. If I mess it up, who's gonna know? Before I start a video, who's gonna know I messed it up? Because all I gotta do is scrape it off, and ain't nobody gonna know but me. So, I just started not caring as much. And I think that's when people become a whole lot better painters, is when they quit caring about messing up so much. Because then it just opens you up to trying different things. And when you go to trying different things and experimenting with how the paint works, that's when you start having fun. But a lot of people don't. They don't want to. They don't want to do something because they're scared they're gonna make a mistake. I was trying real hard to help this one lady, and I'd started working with her outside of my lives, and she had a real bad tendency to always say, I can't do that. I can't do this. And finally, one day, I told her, I said, as long as you keep telling yourself you can't do it, you're absolutely right. You'll never be able to do it. And I think it kind of hurt her feelings. But what she didn't understand is I can't tell you you can do it if you keep telling yourself you can't. I mean, if you've convinced yourself that you can't do it, there's nothing I can do to help you because you already done told yourself you can't do it before you ever start. So we already behind the eight ball. I guess that was about the third or fourth time I told her, how to do something, and kept showing her kind of the same thing over and over. And one day she just said, I can't do it. I just can't do that. And I said, well, you're probably right, but you got yourself convinced of it. I'm not trying to tell you can't do it. You've already told yourself you can't do it. So that's right. Just fire in there. You're exactly right, Paul. You just got to just quit worrying and just paint. Oh man, I was gonna bring a big tree in through here, but golly, that just turned out so good right there. Just looks like a little rolling hill right in here. Just I hate to mess it up. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I don't think I am gonna mess it up. I think I'm just gonna come up here now and get me just a little bit of white. Now this old brush I'm using right here, it's an old hard bristle brush. And I'm gonna come in here and get me just a little bit. I think blue would look good back there myself. So I'm gonna get me a little white and a little blue and just mix them together. Get me a light blue color here. It don't have to be real. Since it is fall, I don't know if I can get away with blue or not. Say go for it, huh? All right, I'm gonna put. Oh man, I don't know if blue's gonna work here or not. I really don't, because I don't really want a whole lot of flowers in here. But that little pop of blue right there might pull your eye to it. All right, I'll clean that blue out now. I'll come back up here and get just a little bit of yellow. I know yellow will work in this painting. And I'll come down along the side of the barn here. And I'll add a little yellow right in here. Just like so. And just make it look like a couple little flowers growing out here. It's not going to take many to look effective. Then maybe put a couple in front of the barn door like nothing's been in it in a long time. And just all down the front. Maybe a couple of them growing out here in the wild. Don't want many flowers. I don't want to turn it into a flower field. Paul said, go for it. Get crazy. Oh. I think I'm going to leave it alone right there. I like that. Well, I tell you what I think I do need. Now that I see it, Dad, burn it. Why did I have to see that? Mm. A cow? Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, man. Well, I think, and I probably shouldn't be thinking this, but I think if we come in here and put us a old fence post about right here, and another one about right here. Oh man, no problem. Put one right there. One right there. One right there. And come back up here with a little bit of the color I used for my shadow on that tree. And just kind of highlight this a little bit on that side. A little bit down that side. A little bit on this side. Not like so. Then come over here and get me just a little bit of black on the bottom of my knife. Come through here with a little bit of wire running down that way. like so. And run me another line up through here like that. Like so. And we'll say it had a little bit of shadow kicking off this way. Not much, just a little bit. Alright, I got a little spot right here I got messed up on, so I need to tap that out. Fix that little spot. Just like so. Okay. And then I'll just tap that right down into the painting. A little shadow. Oh yeah, little shadows always help. They just add another whole dimension. Alright. I think what I'm gonna do now is sign it and call it a painting. Because I think if I keep piddling with it, I'm going to end up messing it up. And that's not what I want to do. Especially after all the hard times that we've been through. This little paint's been a struggle. But it was fun to paint. It really was. And Paul, I appreciate you being here, man. I appreciate you being so patient and attentive. Right, I'll come right in here. And I'll put my mark. Well, tonight I will actually be live on. I got to put a little bit of red on top of them fences. I can't. I done signed it. Oh well. That's my rule. Don't touch it after you sign it. Tonight I'll be on TikTok. I've got to paint over there tonight. But I don't know if you do TikTok or not. I know some people that do TikTok don't do YouTube, and some that do YouTube don't do TikTok. But like I said, I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here, first of all, and I appreciate you being patient because of last night. That was a disaster. Get that far into the paint and then just lose it like that. But it turned out rather well. Yeah, a lot of people don't. Like I said, that that do YouTube. I've got a lot of YouTube followers that's came over from TikTok though, so I'm kind of trying to do both of them and see if I can keep my. I just want to hit that 1,000 on YouTube so bad before my deadline, and I'm trying really hard. But I'm just gonna keep on painting. That's all I can do, you know. But I guess what I'll do now is get ready to get my mess cleaned up and get everything ready for the night and start over and paint another one. I may paint tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night on here on YouTube. I've got a painting I got to do. It's an 18 by 24 that I got to do for a lady, and I may call her in a little while and ask her if she cares if I do it live, and if she don't care for other people seeing it on live TV or on live YouTube, whatever, live social media, I won't call her name. So I don't know why she wouldn't let me. I may just paint it live, and that way, if she wants to see it, she can go on YouTube and look at how it was painted. So I may paint it tomorrow for her and for my YouTube family. I think it'd be kind of fun. So if I do, I don't know what time I'll start on it, but I may do that. Just reach out to her and see if she would be offended if I do that. I don't think she would, but I want to ask her first because that's the only right thing to do. That'd be kind of fun to paint her painting for my YouTube family and followers, and then tell her, look, there's your painting on TV. All right, buddy. Good night to you. And again, thank you very much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And I kind of like the way this one turned out. I think it worked out really good. So with that said, I hope everybody that's watching that goes back to see this video, I hope y'all like how it turned out after the big blow up last night. That was just, that's another one of them Harold's ghosts that keeps following him on YouTube. I love all you guys. God loves you more. Y'all have a blessed night, and I may be painting again tomorrow live. With that said, I'll catch you later.